Hey guys, it's TF Nut. Welcome back to the channel. This past week I've been taking a look at some recently re-released MAFEX figures that I've been wanting to get for quite some time. And the last one we're going to be taking a look at today is going to be of the Medicom Toy MAFEX figure number 123 DC Comics Batman Hush version of Catwoman. Very excited to finally have this figure because I think I own like maybe 2 Catwoman figures in my entire collection. And I don't have an amazing one. So I finally have a really great high-end one here. I don't know if I'm going to get the rest of the Hush line because I like having at least a little bit of savings. But, you know, maybe Joker and Harley Quinn in the future. I don't know. Those do look good. Maybe Hush. I know we're getting Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is coming out very soon. And then eventually we'll be getting Riddler. So MAFEX and Medicom, they've been doing a great job giving us some Batman figures and just like some villains that we've been needing for quite some time in this line, as well as Nightfall Bane coming out soon. Anyway, you've been looking at the packaging in this 360 shot here for a while. You guys are familiar enough with this figure by now. It's been out for, I think it's the more recent of the 3 that I got, but I mean, by no means is it a super duper recent release, besides this re-release, of course. Looking at the inside of the box here, though, it's artwork of Catwoman and Batman from Hush, looking very cool. Here's a 360 of the figure out of the packaging, and I gotta say, this is so good. Very, very awesome. In some ways, this might be my favorite of the 3 I've looked at, even though they all are extremely amazing. Let's go ahead, take a look at the accessories she comes with, and we'll take a close look at the figure. Once again, we have the image of the stand here that I usually use because everything you see here is what this figure will come with when it comes to the stand. It's a clear base with a couple ports on the base there. You have the adjustable neck with a couple places to hinge there. We have a stationary stand. We have some different C-grip attachments. Pretty nice stand overall. We do also have a more like gritting teeth face head sculpt here, and we'll take a look at the one she comes packaged with in a second. But both of those with the goggles on there, very clean with the translucent plastic, and the eyes looking through there and not looking too like basically having like really big eyes because of how the plastic can make it look. All that looks very natural, and then like her lip color is really clean. The separation of colors in the teeth and the lips there are great. Skin tone is also very well done. I think a tiny bit of skin paint is getting on there. I'm looking; it's like microscopic almost. I just noticed it just now. We have some line detailing on the top of her forehead right there, looking really good. It's a nice glossy black finish for the paint going on. Some wrinkles on the back. The gray strap for the goggles, that looks really fantastic. And of course the earpieces here. Looks really cool. And to pop this on, we're going to be looking at the base head throughout the whole review. So popping that on, that's what that looks like. And I want to look at this head. I'm not going to pop it on the body for now, but at the end of the video, this is the head I want to do the photo with, so you'll be able to see that then. And this is the goggles up. It looks like a little bit of silver might be bleeding onto the black just a little bit. There might be a little bit of some kind of weird speck in the plastic there. Now I'm looking, yeah, there's a little bit of imperfections in the silver going on there, unfortunately. But the actual face printing on here is fantastic. Very gorgeous face printing. There's okay. Where my finger is right there, there's a little bit of black. That is very distracting, actually. Okay, that was fuzz. Never mind. No, I'm an idiot. That was just fuzz. As you see, we do have really nice face printing. It looks fantastic. The eyebrows look really good too. We also have really nice lip color there. Very gorgeous head sculpt once again. I do like the strap once again. I think the gray might be... I think the black might be getting into the gray just a little bit because that should be painted. But it's not very distracting. Very similar to the other heads, you do have the the line, or whatever these lines are for the mask sculpted in there, and then the ears also look really fantastic. So yeah, really digging that. You have a little bit of the hair being exposed right there too. Okay, so I want to talk about the whip. The whip is interesting. It is not a bendy wire, but it is removable at different sections, so you can rotate this around here, and then you can separate it here and rotate this around here. And you're going to want to like unplug it and then replug it when you do this kind of stuff, because it's just a little difficult to like turn it when it's ported in there. But you can make it look a little bit more dynamic. It's not the worst system in the world. I just wish that they decided to do a bendy wire though. However, it is quite a nice long piece, and it is like this like muted brown color. I'm not really sure what kind of brown shading of brown this would be, but you see, a little bit of detailing all throughout, just separations of sections there. And then the handle here, it's not the most prominent. It all kind of blends together because it's all the same color, but you have this piece sticking out here for the handle. That looks really cool. Now what we do have is a removable torso piece here. I haven't tried it yet, but the idea is, you pop off, the upper torso and around the hips, and you pop this in, and it's as if she has sheathed her, not sheathed, but she's wrapped up her whip, so she's not using it. So that is actually really nice attention to detail that they decided to provide here. I think that it's a little bit scratched up, going up on this silver buckle there, and then some silver going on to the brown for the whip. But all of that looks really good, I think. You have the little copyright right there. Nice glossy black paint all throughout. You have this seam line going all the way down the outfit there. We'll go through the hands because I can go through these pretty quick. Again, we have these little, ports for the hands, and we have a very nice matte black for all the hands because of her gloves. The fingernails are very nice. Be careful. These are a little fragile. You could either poke yourself or break these, so just be careful with that. Like the inside of the hand, that looks fantastic. I mean, there's not much crazy detailing going on, but these look really good. And then you do have these with the thumb sticking out. You have a grip right there for holding the whip. Those look great. She comes packaged with the relaxed hands, so she also has the fists right here. And you can see a little bit of the thumbnails. The thumbnails are out, but the rest are tucked in, of course. I bet that hurts like hell. And then we do actually have pointers, so that's pretty cool. I do think these fingers look a little too long, but they still look pretty. She does have pretty long fingers in general, doesn't she? Pretty nice, though. Last but certainly not least, we do have the clawing hands for different clawing actions and scratching up enemies. All of these hands are done in a very similar fashion, and they all, especially these two, all of these hands look fantastic. Similar to the other head sculpts, all the stuff we got going on here is pretty great. I will say, when we look straight forward, do you guys see how the right eye seems a little bit more raised than the left one? I don't know if that's the goggles being crooked or if that's the eye being misprinted or anything. This angle, not too bad. This angle, also, that looks fine. Head on, ooh, yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but could be better, could be worse. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but the silver on the goggles, besides one of these head sculpts, I do remember mentioning that. The one with her goggles are lifted up, the silver's not great on that. This here, very clean, looks good. The clear plastic on her eyes looks great. The lip color, skin tone is very clean. Again, the gray band going all the way around. That strap looks good. A little bit of black bleeding onto there. And then, yeah, you can see a little bit of inconsistency, but it's not that easy to tell. Once again, you have the line sculpted onto the, the mask. The glossy black finish is great. The ears look fantastic, too. Let's finally look at the rest of the body, because I've really only just talked about the heads. Very cool what they did here, that we have this plastic piece, and it's hard to make it move, but that's like part of her like zipper for her outfit, and that's an actual metal piece in there, that ring, so that's cool. It doesn't have any kind of function whatsoever besides, like, I can't get it to move right now, but it can pivot a little bit, yeah, like that. So cool. The rest is, there's lots of glossy black paint going on here. It reminds me of what we got with Nightwing. There might be is there a seam line on the back, or is that just, no, okay, just checking, because the seam line should really just be on, down her chest because of her outfit there. Oh, that looks really great. There's not much to go off, though. They're really, like, sculpt wise, there's a little bit of musculature, and her body type and all that they've gotten down really well, so everything looks very sleek and shiny. But it's just mostly a body mold. There really isn't that much detailing. Though this might be a seam line, so I don't think that's part of the outfit. A little bit of back muscles, though, so there's that. That's pretty cool. Her outfit also probably, hides certain details, too. So, unlike Batman's, where he's just ripped as hell. Looking at her buckle, though, that looks great. On the torso she comes packaged with, this looks really good. There's no splotching whatsoever. Again, just mostly a glossy black paint all the way throughout my fingernail. My fingers might be a little dirty, so I can see my fingerprints in there. Don't feel that. But this looks really great. Yeah. And then we do have the matte black, which almost looks like a very... I mean, these are definitely black. But because this is matte, this looks a little bit brighter. By no means is it gray or anything. But looking at that, the relaxed hands are good. And then the matte finish on, the part going around the forearm, that looks fantastic as well. I think the proportions are really good too. I think that the butterfly cap pieces for the joint are a little too large, so they kind of make things a little too big. They like to get stuck on the shoulder joint a little bit, but you just push that out a little bit. Some SH figure arts have that problem. This is a little bit loose, but it doesn't really get in the way of anything there. But yeah, I think proportion wise things do look actually quite good. This piece here, I don't know, this is kind of getting in the way of her arms going all the way down, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But her arms, she's a little bit more petite, so everything's going to be a little bit smaller, of course. And then the back side and all that, everything, has the detailing it needs. It's hard to talk about more of a basic design here, where there's just not that much going on, because I would just say sleek black, no muscles, that's it, and then that's the end of the review, unfortunately. But things aren't bad because of it. Everything is very consistent with how glossy and black everything is. Nice shine from the light. You have the copyright right there that can be hidden when you and you can see it's printed with 23 right there. Interesting. Whatever year this originally came out, probably would have had that printing too. I feel like the knees, while they're also glossy, they're not as glossy as the rest of the legs, though. And I think they may have attempted a little bit of wrinkling right here, or that could be something in the plastic for the shins. But everything else, again, it's just all sleek and black. All the paint is really clean. There is one area I want to mention right there. It's some kind of weird white or gray speck, and I try to scratch. When a MAFEX figure has a paint scratch or whatever, and other companies, you can maybe gently scratch it with your finger and get it off. You just can't do that at all with MAFEX figures, I notice, at least with the ones I get. So I just don't want that there. It's not the end of the world, of course, but it'd be nice if I could do something about it without potentially ruining things. So that's something to mention. Let's talk about the boots then, if there's just not much else I could talk about. The matte finish here is really clean. Nice wrinkles around the ankles. Looks really awesome. The top of the feet have some nice buckles there. You can see, yes, the ankles and the wrists look a little too much like ball joints. But beggars can't be choosers. We need that articulation there, and that's how they're going to do it. Even if it doesn't look like it completely fits the form of the natural form of the ankle, I'm fine with it looking like a ball joint. Before I get to the rest of the feet, I do want to mention this hand here is a little loose when it pops out. But it mostly stays in there fine. Sometimes I'll just accidentally knock it off like that. So, just something to mention. The rest, though, bottom of the feet, no treading or anything. She does have these more higher heel type boots going on. So she's a bit more stable than people with, your Forger with her high heels is a little bit unstable to stand. This is not a problem here, so, overall, very well done. A couple of minor things about it. And even though it seems like a bit of a plain figure, the overall outfit here, the way they executed it, is really awesome. Before I move on to articulation, I want to mention something. I was having a little bit of a loose issue with this butterfly joint cap piece a second ago, because if you look in the body here, there's this peg piece that's sculpted in there. There's a groove going into that butterfly joint cap piece. This goes in that groove and it keeps that stable while also, allowing for it to move. But that way, the issue I was having where this was covering the arm too much doesn't happen. So all I did was I slightly lifted it up. This is a bit of a softer plastic here. Slightly lifted up the cap piece and moved it back in there. Just be careful when you're doing that if you have a similar issue like I do. Something I never noticed at all, so hopefully that helps. Anyway, this looks like a much thicker neck peg compared to the other guys I was looking at earlier. This week, it's slightly bent at an angle. We pop this on. Great range of motion going up. You do have, you know, articulation in the neck. Be careful with this ring piece here in case that ends up breaking off. The down motion is really very nice. Slight, you know, rotation's good. All this range of motion is really nicely done. Okay, so, hopefully this doesn't come undone either. But if you stick the arm all the way out, and then you can make that move forward and back, all the way around like that, with a little bit of the socket joint, and then go all the way out like this. You can see it goes all the way out. It's kind of like slightly hindered at a bit of an angle. It doesn't go out as high as Superman's or Batman's, but still a good amount, and then goes all the way around here. Upper arm swivel. We do have double jointed elbows. That seems a little bit more hindered for some reason. It gets a little bit over 90. We do have really nice wrist joints here. These actually don't feel like they're going to break at all, as you see there. Double ball joints here. Actually, okay, swivel here could be better. The back motion's good. Trying to focus, sorry. Forward is decent, I guess. Side to side is not great, but you get that here. Way better range of motion at the waist, like a lot of these figures. But this is far back as it wants to go. That's sick. Far forward, really nice. Legs can drop down, so this actually kicks out more than Batman and Superman, which is really impressive, actually. Then you can try to fix that back up. Then we also have thigh swivels, or sorry, thigh splits. Very, like, perfect split, basically. Thigh swivel is in here. We do have a rotation, but it's not a full 360. Double jointed knee. A little bit of detailing I forgot to mention with some wrinkles in the knee there. And then, yeah, this is, you can't grab this and rotate it. It's sculpted like that. But you get the rotation here at the ankle, up and down. These are a little bit loose. We do have a bit of ankle rockers that could be better, but because they're angled because of the heels, that's expected. And then a little bit of a toe hinge. It's a little hindered. Measuring out the figure, to the top of her head, it's going to be about 15 centimeters. A little bit more to the top of her ears. So that is going to put this just under or right at 6 inches. With the trifecta of other Batman Hush figures I reviewed this week, you can see they're going to be taller than her. Again, I think Batman's actually a little bit taller than Superman. I'm surprised by that. I don't know if that's super accurate. Let me know down in the comments. But as you can see over on the far left, Nightwing is going to be ever so slightly taller than her. I think that's an accurate size as well. And then on the far right, that is the Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman that's going to be taller. Originally, if I wasn't able to get any of these Hush figures, I would have gotten, you know, besides Catwoman, I would get her and then keep her with my Mezco Batman. But I don't need to do that anymore because I have the Hush Batman now. Once again, I don't need to tell you guys how good this figure is. It's been out for a while now. There are other reviews out there. Go check out those reviews as well. I'm just putting my 2 cents out there because I got the recent re-release. It's fantastic, really awesome, very happy to finally have a really nice Catwoman in my collection. Don't know if I'll get the rest of them because then I'll be super broke, but glad I at least have the main 3 that I really wanted to review on the channel this week. Especially her. She's a fantastic one. I think she might be my slightly more favorite out of all 3 of them, but they're all fantastic in their own right, of course. Not perfect. I do think that the whip could have been a bendy wire. That would have been nice. I think some of the paint in some areas is just ever so slightly splotched, and she's a little bit cockeyed on one of these head sculpts as well. So it's interesting to see. But really, there's nothing else that's a problem with this figure. The glossy black finish is fantastic. The articulation, the overall sculpt and silhouette and body of this figure is fantastic. The details are really good, and it's just a very fun figure to have. It's going to be around $100, unfortunately, but it's a little bit easier to get. Same thing with Superman. It's going to be a little bit easier to get than the Hush Batman. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about the figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.